Are your needs truly being met? And I ask this not from the place of our practice in outsourcing our needs. This isn't about outsourcing. This is about truly being in touch with our needs, particularly in a relationship, in intimate relationships. Are your needs being met? Do you know exactly what your needs are? A lot of times people, much of the human experience, not everyone, but much of the human experience is to connect, have this desire to be, and often that desire to be is in a relationship with someone. Something that feels substantial, connective, withstanding, special, beautiful, all of the things. But I don't think many people give thought to truly what they need. Instead of giving thought to what they need and being intentional about aligning themselves with that in another, it's almost like we say, oh, I want someone, they want me, okay, we found each other, this is great. I'm not single anymore. Only to wake up a month later, a year later, 15, 20, 30 years later, and say, this actually is not what I want. This isn't feeling connective or meaningful. It's not giving me what I need and what I want to experience. And I think about how time is the one thing we do not get back. Life is our longest, shortest experience, and how often people spend it in a limited way because they've made this decision to be with this person and they didn't really think it through. They didn't really think about what meant the most. I encounter a lot of people, and a lot of my patients are older, and if their spouse, particularly the husband, passed, I would ask the widow, would you get married again, or how do you feel about that? And the answer is is mostly in the 90 percentile, no. That they loved their husband, but they realized that they never really talked, that he wasn't emotionally available or connective, didn't really understand. So they didn't feel seen, but they had invested all this time, the family, the children. You buy a house, you accumulate so much that you begin to feel as if you've boxed yourself in. You've cemented yourself into a reality and situation that you can't just leave. And I just want to say, we all get this one life that we're conscious of. If you are in a relationship and you find yourself deeply dissatisfied, it truly isn't hitting the areas that are important to you, be brave and have a conversation. Be brave and say, this is how I feel and this is my experience. What do you think and feel? What is your experience? Open the door to have a deep, meaningful, and real conversation. So often people do not do that because they're also thinking about, I don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. I don't want to, I want to avoid conflict. This isn't going to go well. But what is your truth? You don't know that for sure. And even if it doesn't go well, air quotes, even if the other person gets hurt, you have communicated. You have given yourself something that you need and want, which is your time, attention, and your own ear. You deserve to express. Now, what becomes of that? Who knows? Maybe the other person will say, I feel similarly. Maybe they will say, I don't have it to give. We've always been this way. Why now are you wanting things to be different? Then that sounds like that person is closed. Perhaps change is scary. Maybe they don't feel like they know what to do. All of those things may be, and it doesn't mean that you have to forsake your truth. Otherwise, it's like being in the ocean and still feeling dry, being surrounded by someone up close and personal and not being fed, yet this is who you wake up to and you go to sleep with. This is who you interact with and engage with regularly, or this is who you see every day, because you may not even really be interacting or engaging. So your life would then be spent deeply compromised, because rather than do the one thing you're responsible for, which is speaking, expressing your truth, you're doing the thing you're not responsible for, which is considering what the other person might think or feel and trying to prevent a conflict, you're trying to avoid a hard thing, but hoping your current reality changes. Your current reality will not change unless or until you are willing to do that hard thing. And your reality, the other person may never change, but by being brave enough to do the hard thing, which is to express, you've already created a shift and an opening for yourself. And however that other person responds or reacts, that becomes information for you. If that person is listening intently and honoring what you're saying and wanting to try to practice to meet you there, hey, that's a gift. Good thing you said something, right? Good thing you were brave. Now, if you're brave and the other person shuts it down, hey, that's information that the person you are with is not interested in this thing that's important to you. So now what do you do? Because it's not about them. It's about you. And so often we avoid this whole topic and reality and practice because we do not want to make the hard decisions. But that's a part of our growth and development. That's a part of moving in the direction of having the experience you want to have. You will never have it if you do not sign up for it. You will never have it if you do not have a hard conversation, enter into the unknown. Then it's like just being comfortable with being dissatisfied. You have to accept that reality if you don't want to change your reality. And you cannot outsource that to the other person. They're not going to just change. They are being who they are, and so are you. But what you can do is open up the channel of communication. You can say, hey, I really want to talk to you about something. I don't know how this is going to land. I don't even know all of the words that are going to come out of my mouth, but I'm feeling some kind of way. And I need to share that with you. And then you begin to talk. Guess what it requires? One, that you know your needs. Two, that you are brave enough to look at those needs and express them. And ultimately, that you're vulnerable in the face of the unknown. That you're vulnerable. And guess what? All of those things are within you. Give it some thought. Give yourself, your life, your desires some thought. And see how willing you are to affect change in your life for yourself by talking about it.